They cost less than a used pickup truck, and they'll outlast boats worth 10 times as much, while everyone's chasing shiny new trawlers that start falling apart in a decade. A handful of old, dirt-cheap workhorses just refuse to die. Thick fiberglass, simple engines, and a level of build quality nobody can afford to put into a boat anymore. By the end of this video, you'll know 7 trawlers you can buy starting at $24,900, boats that'll still be cruising long after the expensive ones are rotting at the dock. And number 1 is the cheapest tank of them all. Let me tell you the dirty secret of the boat world. The price of a trawler has almost nothing to do with how long it'll last. Some of the most expensive boats on the market today are built thin, fast, and cheap, underneath all that gloss, designed to look incredible on the showroom floor and become someone else's problem in 15 years. Meanwhile, back in the 70s and 80s, builders didn't know how to cut corners yet. They laid up fiberglass hulls so thick you could run them aground and barely scratch the gel coat. They used simple, slow-turning diesels that run for 10,000 hours without complaint. And today, those boats are sitting in marinas all over the country, selling for the price of a used car, because most buyers don't know what they're looking at. You're about to. I'll also tell you exactly what to check before you buy each one so you don't get burned. Let's start the countdown. Number 7. The Grand Banks 32. Everybody knows the Grand Banks name, but everybody chases the bigger 42, which is why the little 32 is one of the best kept secrets in cheap trawlers. This is your entry ticket into the most respected brand on the water for a fraction of what the big ones cost. And don't let the size fool you. The 32 is built to the exact same standard as her bigger sisters. Solid hand-laid hull, real teak joinery, and a reputation for shrugging off decades of hard use. A clean, older 32 can often be found in the $50,000 to $80,000 range, and well-loved project boats turn up for far less. Now, here's what to watch for. The older ones have teak decks, and teak decks eventually leak. So before you buy, have a surveyor check the deck core for soft spots and any sign of water getting into the wood underneath. Get a boat where that's already been dealt with, and you've got a Grand Banks that'll serve you for the rest of your life and still be worth real money when you're done. That's the thing about this brand. It doesn't really depreciate anymore. It just changes hands between people who know. Next up is a boat from the other side of the ocean that wins on pure, stubborn simplicity. Number 6, the Mainship 34, the Mark III. If the Grand Banks is old-world craftsmanship, the Mainship is good old American common sense. Built in Florida, this boat was designed around one idea: keep it simple, keep it tough, keep it affordable. And it absolutely nailed it. Most came with a single, reliable diesel, which means fewer things to break, cheaper maintenance, and parts you can actually find without remortgaging the house. That's a huge deal when you're retired and you want a boat that works, not a boat that lives at the mechanics. The hull is solid and sea-kindly. The layout is roomy for 34 feet, and the whole thing was engineered to be owner-maintained. You can find a solid Mainship 34 in the $30,000 to $60,000 range, and the community around them is massive, which means endless advice and cheap used parts a phone call away. What to check? Confirm it's the diesel, not the earlier gas engine, and have the transmission and engine hours looked at carefully, because a tired motor is the one big expense on an otherwise bulletproof boat. Get that right. And the Mainship rewards you with the one thing every retiree on a budget actually wants: a boat that just goes year after year without drama. The next one doubles down on heavy overbuilt construction. Number 5, the Albin 36. Here's a boat that punches so far above its price tag it almost feels like a mistake. Built in Taiwan during the golden era of trawler building, the Albin 36 is heavy, solid, and finished inside with a level of real teak woodwork that would cost a small fortune to reproduce today. The aft cabin version is the one everybody wants because it gives a retired couple 2 real, separate sleeping areas, a proper owner's stateroom in the back, and a guest cabin forward, which makes living aboard or hosting the grandkids genuinely comfortable. And the build is the star: thick hull, full keel protecting the running gear. the kind of boat you trust when the weather turns. Prices typically land in the $40,000 to $70,000 range depending on condition, which is remarkable for what you're getting. The thing to watch, same as a lot of these Taiwanese classics, is water intrusion. Teak decks and older wiring are the usual culprits, so get a thorough survey and budget for any deck work up front. Handle that. And the Albin 36 gives you blue water grade toughness and liveaboard comfort for the price of a midsize SUV. People who own these tend to keep them for 20 years. And now you can see why. Next is the cheapest entry on the list yet, and it's tougher than its bargain price suggests. Number 4, the CHB 34. CHB stands for Changhua Boat Works, and this is one of the most overlooked bargains in the entire trawler world. These boats came out of Taiwan in big numbers, and because the name doesn't carry the prestige of a Grand Banks, they sell dirt cheap. We're talking $30,000 and often well under, but here's what people miss. That hull is seriously overbuilt. Back then, the yards didn't optimize fiberglass to save weight and money. They just poured it on. The result is a heavy, sturdy boat that takes a beating and keeps going, with a classic trawler layout that's perfect for slow, comfortable cruising. For a buyer who wants maximum boat for minimum money, the CHB 34 is hard to beat. Now, I'll be straight with you, because this matters. The finish quality and the wiring on these budget Taiwanese boats can be hit or miss, and that's exactly why they're cheap. So this is one where the survey isn't optional. Pay a good surveyor, check the stringers, the wiring, and the teak, and walk away from any boat that's been neglected. But find a CHB 34 that's been loved and maintained, and you've got a genuine tank for the price of a used economy car. That's the definition of this whole list. The next 3 boats are where it gets really good. Number 3, the Monk 36. This one has a cult following, and once you understand it, you'll see why. Designed by the legendary Ed Monk and built in Taiwan, the Monk 36 took the classic trawler and added the one feature retirees fall in love with, a big open sun deck on the back. That raised deck gives you a second living space outdoors, somewhere to put the deck chairs, watch the sunset, have the morning coffee while the marina wakes up. For a couple planning to actually live this lifestyle, that space changes everything. And underneath the charm, it's a serious boat. Heavy fiberglass hull, full keel, a reputation for handling rough water far better than its modest price suggests. You'll typically find them in the $40,000 to $80,000 range, and the owner community is one of the most active and helpful anywhere, which means you'll never be stuck solving a problem alone. What to check before you buy? Like most boats of this era, the teak decks and any deck-mounted hardware are where water sneaks in. So have a surveyor probe the deck and the sun deck core carefully. Find one that's been kept dry and maintained, and the Monk 36 gives you comfort, space, and genuine seaworthiness for the price of a basic new car. It's the boat that proves cheap and capable aren't opposites, but the next one is the toughest, most over-engineered hull on this entire list. Number 2, the Willard 36. If the other boats on this list are tanks, the Willard is a battleship. Willard Marine built boats for serious, no-compromise ocean work, and the 36 is full displacement, meaning it's designed to plow steadily through heavy sea all day, slow and unstoppable, rather than skim across the top. The hull is enormously thick and heavy, with a deep, full keel that makes the boat track straight and ride comfortably when the weather gets ugly. This is the boat you want when a forecast goes wrong. Most have a single, simple diesel turning slowly, which means low fuel burn and long engine life. Now, I have to be honest about the trade-off, because it matters. Full displacement means slow. You're cruising at 7 or 8 knots, not racing anywhere. So this is a boat for people who've realized the journey is the point. If that's you, there's almost nothing safer or tougher for the money, and clean examples often land in the $40,000 to $90,000 range. What to check? Because production was smaller, find a well-maintained one and have the single engine surveyed thoroughly, since it's your one power plant. Get the right Willard, and you've got a boat that could genuinely outlive you, and probably your kids too. Which brings us to number 1, the cheapest tank on this entire list. The boat you can buy starting at $24,900. Number 1, The Marine Trader 34. This is the boat I promised you at the very start. The cheapest tank on the water. Marine Trader built these in huge numbers through the 70s and 80s, and that's exactly why they're such a bargain today. There are so many of them that prices start as low as $24,900 for a usable boat. And here's the magic. The fiberglass hulls on these are thick, solid, and almost impossible to kill. People have run Marine Traders for 40 years, and the hull just doesn't quit. You get a classic trawler layout, a comfortable live-aboard interior, and a boat that, mechanically, is about as simple as boating gets. Because so many were built, the parts, the knowledge, and the owner community are everywhere. Anything that breaks, someone has already fixed it and written down how. Now, the honest part, build quality did vary between the different yards that produced them, so this is absolutely a boat where you pay a good surveyor and check the stringers, the wiring, and the teak before you hand over a dime. Buy a neglected one and you'll inherit headaches. Buy a maintained one and you've got the single best dollar-for-dollar trawler in existence. For under 25 grand, you can own a real ocean-going style trawler that'll still be floating when boats 5 times the price are long gone. That's not a compromise. That's the smartest buy on the water. So there they are. 7 trawlers built like tanks, starting at under $25,000. And I hope you walk away from this with one idea stuck in your head. The price tag was never the point. The boats that last weren't the expensive ones. They were the thick, heavy, simple ones that nobody bothered to cut corners on. Any one of these can give you the life on the water you've been dreaming about, without draining your retirement to do it. Now, here's the thing. Nobody tells you next. Buying the boat cheap is only half the battle. What really decides whether you can afford this lifestyle is how much it costs to run. So, I made a video on the trawlers that cost almost nothing to cruise. Some of these will take you all day on the water for about $40 in fuel, while most boats burn 5 times that. It's right here, and it's the perfect next watch. And if you want more straight talk like this, subscribe. Your perfect boat might be in the next video. I'll see you there.